Hi, this weekend Ilia is going against Volkanovski, and I really wanted to make this video because I'm pretty sure that if I did not make this video, I would feel definitely really bad after the fight because I am completely sure that Ilia and also Merab will win these fights. And if I did not make it, I would be regretting the fact that I did not predict all of this stuff. So I just wanted to predict this video before the fight happens. So after the fight, maybe I'm gonna have some viewers coming back to the video and commenting that I was completely right. So, first of all, what are the arguments against Ilya? Like, what are the people idea why Ilya cannot really win this fight? Well, most of the times they are saying that Ilya never faced anyone like this before. They say that Ilya is good, Ilya has pretty decent wins, but he never faced this kind of competition. They also say that Ilya almost got KO'd by Jay Herbert. That's right, Ilya always had a trouble fighting against longer guys because they are able to head kick Ilya quite easily, and he does not really have that good of a defense against head kicks. But Volkanovski is kinda a midget. I mean, Ilya is also really short, but Volkanovski is even shorter, so Volkanovski will have a hard time hitting Ilya in the head with foot. That's most likely not gonna happen. The other thing that fans say that is that Ilya could not even finish Josh Emmett. He could not even finish a guy who is not really that technical, and Ilya did not submit or KO this guy. So how come that he's gonna be KOing Alex Volkanovski? Well, first of all, MMA math does not work. That's the first rule. You cannot really say just because he could not do something there, he's not gonna be able to do it here. But the other thing is that sometimes decision wins are even more impressive than finishes. For example, if Sean Strickland somehow caught Adesanya in the first round, we would be like, oh, that was probably like just a one-time thing. If they fight once more, Sean Strickland probably will lose. But because Sean Strickland won that fight via decision, he beat Adesanya in a highly technical striking match. We don't even want to see that rematch because it was so one-sided. It was so clear. So it is the same thing here. Even though Ilya did not finish Josh Emmett, he showed that he was technically so much better than Emmett. And he also inflicted really high amounts of damage. Sometimes you don't really need to finish somebody in order to prove your point. And there are also differences between decision wins. Sometimes you are able to win by via decision, but you are still inflicting so much damage. It still shows that you are a very dangerous person. The other thing is that Ilya prepares really well for his opponents, and even though he can do everything basically quite well, he still prefers to use his advantages. For example, when Ilya fought Ryan Hall, Ilya did not really want to grapple with Ryan. Ilya is also a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and he might even be a better black belt than Ryan Hall, but he still did not really want to do that because that was the only dangerous thing with Ryan Hall. Other than that, Ryan Hall did not really have any answers for Ilya's striking. So Ilya just stayed calm, stayed patient, and he used the moments to hammer fist him, and he just knocked him out like that. The other thing is that when Ilya fought Bryce Mitchell, he knew that their grappling was kind of similar. Bryce is also a really good grappler, really good wrestler. So there too, Ilya wanted to just use his striking more. He did not really want to go for the submissions early in the fight. But when Ilya hurt Bryce Mitchell so much, it was also fine to go for submissions. And the other thing is that Josh Emmett hits really damn hard. Probably his overhand right is like the most powerful overhand right in the featherweight history. And Ilya also hits really hard. And if even if they exchange it, like even if they went for wild exchanges, Ilya still won that might have still won that exchange, but it was so risky, and it was also no need to do that. Ilya was a more technical fighter. He had a better jab. He had a better defensive abilities. He could play the striking game better without risking it too much, and he did that. And he also showed that he has a really good cardio. He has a really good understanding of the fight game, and that is the thing that's actually indicating me that he's gonna beat Volkanovski. And he's not only gonna beat Volkanovski, I think he's gonna do it quite easily. It's not gonna be that close of a fight. I actually think that. The other thing is that Alex will chop his leg. The people say that Alex will chop Ilya's leg because Ilya Ilya's stance is very boxing oriented. He puts lots of weight on his front foot, and all of that stuff is true. But Ilya comes in every fight very well prepared. He knows just fine what his opponents will try to do, and he has answers for that. So I'm pretty sure that Ilya will also have some kind of defensive strategies for this lead leg kick. It's good and technically it should work, but I think Ilya will probably move out of the way, or he might actually use that as a bait. He might use it as a bait. Once Alex Volkanovski tries to hit that leg, he might fire a right hand. It might happen. And I'm just so sure that Ilya will adjust his game very, very well for Alex Volkanovski. It's the same thing with like Dominic Reyes when he fought John Jones. All of these guys, they are preparing really well for champions because they always watch the tape of how champions fight. All of the coaches know what are the main weapons of champions, and all of those things mean that Ilya will be even more prepared for Volkanovski than other fighters. Like for Jay Herbert, which was a short notice fight. That fight did not really make any sense, but it was still a really good fight to watch. The other thing is that you just do not like Ilya. And that's normal because Ilya is a new guy for most of you. Even though he already had some really good fights, some good wins, he is well known for like hardcore MMA fans, but for casual fans, he's not really that well known. And Alex Volkanovski was also really not that beloved in the first place. Like when he fought against Max Holloway twice, no one really liked Alex that much. People thought that Max should have won those fights and Max should have been a champion. But after Volkanovski beat Max third time, and then he survived Ortega's submissions, he escaped those submissions. After that, people started to like Volkanovski a lot, and then he fought against Islam Makhachev, and he had a really good performance, and people started loving him. And now it's the thing that people accepted this guy as their champion. He's a really nice guy. He comes from Australia. He's had like English is his native language, and people just find him so good, all because of all of that stuff. He also talks about his weaknesses like mental health and stuff, and that just makes him very likable. And Ilya, on the other hand, he's something unknown. He's something new. He's something that we have never really seen. Now, you might say that he's a fake Conor. He's trying to act like a Conor and stuff, and that is completely true. He's trying to do all of that stuff, but there is also a confidence component in that regard, which is also completely legit. He's trying to say all of those, like, he's trying to quote Conor so much, but on the other hand, he still has that inner confidence which is completely real. And people are like in that regard partially right that Ilya is sometimes cringy, and that's also like expected. Ilya does not really speak that good of an English. Like he's trying to learn it, but it is his third or fourth language, so he's never really gonna be as witty as Connor was, because there will always be some kind of language barrier. But the most important thing there is that and Ilya is not really worse fighter than Connor ever was. Like this guy is undefeated. Of course, being undefeated does not mean everything, but this guy is not only undefeated, he faced really good competition, and he is also a really good finisher. He can submit you, he can knock you out. Connor always sucked at grappling. That guy got submitted twice or even like 3 times before he joined UFC. He was always bad at grappling. He always had that hole. Ilya does not really have any kind of clear like weaknesses like that. He does not have it. Now you could say that Connor's striking was better and so on and so on. Yeah, that's definitely a topic for another video. I'm not gonna talk about that stuff, but I'm just saying that Ilya is as special as Connor was. His charisma might not be there for sure, but his fighting abilities is as special as Connor's was. It might even be more special because he's a new generation now, new generation fighter. And I just wanted to say this and just predict that Ilya will make it look easy. And in the future, you're gonna be also fans of Ilya, even though you might act like you don't like him today. You're still gonna like him. Now let's talk about Merab. Merab is a great fighter. Merab had many wins. He actually has a 9-win streak in UFC, and he beat Piotr Jan, he beat Jose Aldo, he beat Dodson, Cody Stamann, just so many good fighters. And even though he does not really, Marlon Moraes of course, and even though he does not really finish his opponents that often, he beats them. Like, who cares? If you're gonna beat a Jose Aldo, if you're gonna beat a Piotr Jan, just it already means that you are something special. Merab's fighting style is not that enjoyable, it's not that beautiful, but he's winning. He's winning, and winning. And if you're gonna give Merab like 10 freaking rounds, he's gonna probably finish his opponents. And the thing is that they are not really giving Merab the possibility to go for 5-round fights more often. And even now he's going against Henry Cejudo, and Henry Cejudo is of course a really good wrestler, and he has that like gold medal, and it's also a 3-round fight. And just because of that, it might seem like Henry actually has a really good chance. I mean, he's an Olympic wrestler. How will Merab do anything against him? And also, this is gonna be a 3-round fight, and Henry has a good cardio and all of that stuff. But this is also a false judgment. This is also a mistake, because Merab is physically very strong. Of course, if Merab is going against other physically very strong fighter, he might have some hard times, but Henry is a real flyweight, and Merab is gonna be definitely bigger than Henry, and Merab will definitely be stronger than Henry. And you're gonna feel that when they will go into clinch, when Merab will try takedowns, and we all know that Henry can stop like 50 takedowns. It does not matter. Merab will do more, and he's gonna make him tired, and he's gonna make him struggle, and he's gonna just win all of the rounds, because he will just put so much pressure. If he is trying to clinch, you're gonna defend it, and he's gonna try it once more, and and you might think that Henry will win in a stand-up, and yes, Henry does have a really good power, but so did Jan, so did Jose Aldo, but they could not really do anything because Merab has a very underrated distance management. You might think that Merab is a bad striker, but he's not really that bad of a striker. One of the most important parts of the striking is distance management, and that guy can avoid these pocket zones very well. You know, he's gonna be either too close or too far away from you. If you're gonna be too close with Merab, okay, guess we are wrestling. If you're gonna be too far away, that's fine. Merab will throw his like weakest kicks, but that's still gonna give him some kind of points, and that will still do like little damage, or at least keep your mind occupied, so then he will try to take you down. His style might not be the most interesting to watch, but on the other hand it is also so interesting because he is gonna be doing basically the same thing against every opponent, but it's still gonna work. And you might be a really good wrestler, you might have technically the advantage over him in wrestling, but he's still gonna beat you even in your game. I'm pretty sure that Merab will win this fight. I'm completely sure that Ilia will win this fight, and I just wanted to make this video so that I'm not gonna regret the fact that I knew that these guys would win, and if I did not make this video, then I would be very mad about myself. So I guess I did say everything that I wanted to say, and if actually anyone watched it, I'm glad you did, and bye.